terms of betting on this contest. All right, our third game of the night and final game that we will look at involves, and unfortunately, I would be going to Gerard first on this game, but he's not here, and that is the Boston Celtics. They are 6.5-point favorites as they are visiting the Los Angeles Lakers. So that is always a marquee matchup, but obviously both of these teams, well, not both of these teams, the Lakers dealing with a lot of injuries. Obviously, their two top guns in LeBron and Anthony Davis not playing in this contest. The over-under for this matchup is at 212. Boston's been playing pretty well lately. They've won 4 in a row. They are looking to continue their winning ways in Los Angeles. Murph, are you sticking with the Gerard energy? Is it F the C's? Are you going pro LA on this here and putting your money on the Lakers? It looks like you're about to shake your head and say no. What you got in this contest?
Yeah, no, I'm not a fuck the C's guy. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't your last week's Celtics. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole new Celtics team. This past week or so, they're 4-1. They're looking great out there. Kemba even looking a little spry, looking like his knees coming around. Tatum looking like he's kind of more farther along from the COVID situation. Jaylen Brown needs to step it up a little bit. But Marcus Smart is back. This is a different team. I think they're really focused. And remember, they do have the greatest coach in the history of basketball. And this is why he's the greatest coach in the history of basketball. Did you see that the against Portland when Smart missed the first free throw?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What other coach in the NBA directs his player to miss the next one? And not only that, they were prepared and doubled Lillard on the rebound, so he couldn't even get a quarter up half court. So I mean, that was genius. That's why Stevens is a genius, and that's why I've been saying that forever. And now his genius is coming back, and the Celtics are back, and you can take them. The spread bothers me a little bit, the 6.5, because the Lakers do play tough. They're going to play hard every night. They're going to play defense, so they could keep it close. But I think Celtics are on a mission to get to that 4 spot and stay in that 4 spot, which is where they probably belong. The Heat are struggling. I don't know what's up with them. Both of those teams have been up and down all year. But I do think those are the 4th and 5th best teams. But for this game, I'm going to go Boston minus the 6.5. And I'm going to go the over, even though, like I said, the Lakers play D, but I think the Celtics are clicking offensively, and they will put up some points.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Gerard was here, he'd be absolutely disgusted with all that Brad Stevens praise that you just gave.
He's a genius.
He's a genius. Eric Chang has his money on Boston as well tonight. And we want to shout out to, we got on our friend Russian Ma FLA earlier, but we appreciate you hanging with us, and we see that you're excited about the player props that we're going to be talking about coming up next. So we appreciate you hanging with us, brother. Boston by double digits. Eric Chang is saying it's not even going to be that close, Brian. Are you also sipping the tea, the Brad Stevens tea, that he is the greatest, that he will find a way to have his team ready? I didn't want to. Murph said ever. I wasn't going to say that, but he's going to find a way to combat that tough Laker defense. And the Celtics are rising. They're trending in the right direction. 4 in a row. This seems like it's all tailor-made for you, Brian, to get in behind your favorite city in North America, which would be Boston, Massachusetts. How are you betting this game tonight?
That's an inside joke, first of all, for the people who don't know that.
No. For our new viewers like Russian Ma, who we appreciate, you should know that Brian loves the city of Boston. If you want to know anything about this, he almost loves it more than he loves Miami. Okay? He loves it a little bit more than he loves Miami. But go ahead.
I've at least been to Boston, so I'll say that much.
Sad for you.
Yeah, this spread is I don't know what to predict night in and night out with the Celtics team, because they've been probably the team just as much as anyone in the NBA. You think they're going to go one way, and then it just doesn't happen that way. And lately, I will say Jayson Tatum has been playing very good. Now this is the closest that he's been to pre-COVID Tatum. It's unfortunate that he has to use an inhaler, and hopefully that his breathing, comes back fully. But as of right now, this is the best that he's been since before that, because remember his percentages, sort of dropped off a little bit after. I think that what we're probably going to see is a closer game than we should, because the Lakers, as you mentioned, they just play hard whether or not LeBron or AD is going to be there. And the Celtics just sort of let teams in, kind of play to their competition, and sometimes they lose and sometimes they win. Nice win last time, but that was, again, a 1-point game. So I would be tempted to actually take the Lakers to cover, although I think the Celtics will probably win a tight one. And that over-under 224 seems pretty low, but again, the unpredictability of these teams, you just don't necessarily know. And that's more of a Lakers thing, because they're, I wouldn't even say more defensive-minded now, but they just can't score as much without LeBron and Anthony Davis there. And how could you blame them? It's LeBron and Anthony Davis. So the over-under is probably more of a stay away from me, but I would probably take the Lakers to cover.
Over-under is actually a 212, Brian. 212, not 224.
212?
Yeah, 212. Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty low.
Yeah.
I see what Eric Chang is saying and taking the under. Because if it's like a 105-95 game, that's still underneath. And I could see the score being like something like that, maybe even tighter, because I'm saying it's going to be a close game. The over-under is a stay away from me because it's causing me too many headaches. But I would probably lean towards taking the Lakers to cover, even though they shouldn't. The Celtics should run away with this, but they just don't run away with games that they're supposed to run away with, and they've been doing that all season.
Yeah, I like this. I think all that is great points on that. And I think that's the reason I actually would bet on the Lakers in this. In terms of Celtics should win this game, but I can see it being tight. I like the Lakers defense. I've actually, the last couple of games they've played, we saw what they did to the Nets. They played the Knicks pretty tough towards the end. They just got a win against Charlotte before coming back home. Their defense has been pretty good, and still they've been high in defensive rating even without LeBron and AD. So they're going to come to play. Vogel gets them ready to play, as Murph said. So I wouldn't mind taking the Lakers to cover here. As far as that over-under, it's a stay away from me. I hear you, Brian. I can see that being like a 105-95 game. I can see it being a 105-100 game. You can totally see that it coming down to that. So I would stay away with that, but I understand why Eric Chang is kind of like, I might want to go with the under here. But the way that the Lakers play defense, and they still have shown a high level in Boston, as you said, not being able to put teams away. This is an interesting one to bet, but I would be inclined to go with the Lakers in the under, but we'll see on that